Welcome to this IC Video Productions webcast of the 2017 Hockey Alberta Senior AA Provincials from Wainwright, Alberta. I'm Dave Dawson alongside Kevin Donnan. Thanks so much for joining us. Today it's the Daysland Stars kicking it off against the Hillmond Hitmen. And Kevin, the Daysland Stars look to be the powerhouse in this whole tournament so far. A team that's been here a number of times already, but as provincial championships always go, you never know what can happen in these games.
It's a short tournament. 3 out of the 4 teams who were here last year are in this tournament, and we are in for a great weekend.
We absolutely are. So glad you're joining us. Today we're produced by Dave Foley and directed by Rob Zidlau, as well as Kyle Matz here to help you out as well. So glad to be here in Wainwright, Alberta, the host town. The Rustlers are playing right after this game. Shot on net right away. Hillmond going broadcast right to left, wearing the Chicago Blackhawks-esque jerseys, and the Daysland, the left to right, wearing your Team Canada replicas. Half wall, some body contact early on already. Outlet pass up through the middle, inside, outside was Day, gets bumped off of it. Hillmond will regroup, pass in to the legs of Weghill. Daysland turns around again. There's number 41, Colin Zimmer, the assistant captain. Looks on, goes towards the front of the net, pass right in front, and that clears the crease and heads down the ice, and back to get it is Tanner Erickson. Right-hand shot, knocked off of the stick on the attempt for effort. Pass back to the blue line, and we're ready to roll again, as Mr. Donnan mentioned off the top. Hillmond and Daysland and Wainwright, as well as the Nanton Palominos, are here this weekend. They're going to be following it up. A short tournament. You pretty much, it's very Memorial Cup format-esque.
7-game tournament. It's going to be a great one. We've got some great action tonight. 3 games tomorrow, and of course the bronze medal game and the gold medal game on Sunday. So stay right here with ICU Video and our Procast.
Quick turnaround there, and a little bit of background on these two teams playing. Daysland out of the North Central Hockey League, a 10-team league, went 14-1, 0-3 this season. And if you're familiar with Senior AA, they won it all last year over Nanton, 3-0. Wainwright had a 7-3 win over Fort McLeod in the bronze. Hillmond was the runner-ups in the Sask Alta League, losing to Wainwright. So because of the size of that league, 14 teams, they bring 2 teams into the championship. Shot off of a leg, goes wide of the net. Goaltender looks to wrap around. Can't cover it up on the side, and some body contact. Goaltender's mask gets knocked off. That's number 39, Jimmy Peterson. They got to blow the whistle.
Both teams getting that first shift out of the way. Of course, you got the nerves going. It's game 1. You got your home fans following you here to Wainwright, and both teams with 2 minutes in, probably just settling it in, get that first shift, get that first check, and then get going.
Feeling out process. Thank you very much, Mr. Donnan. Some body contact here, too. And if you aren't very familiar with the Senior AA and Senior A ranks, a lot of talent on either side that have played high levels of hockey. A shot on the side of the net off the boards will be a story we'll follow throughout the weekend. Another shot from the point. Green hangs onto that one. He gets knocked off of it. Anderson couldn't catch up with it. Green will move it along to Benefield. Both of those guys have played some high level. Green, 152 games played in Junior B for the Capital League in his first season with Daysland, as the puck comes out through center again. Dudley's going to rip it in. Hillmond will change. And again, if you're just joining us, Hillmond broadcast right to left, wearing the white with black and red trim. Daysland in the Team Canada-esque ones with a star logo, as the puck makes its first way into the Daysland zone. And 6 straight appearances into the Provincials, won it all last year. They're the powerhouses here.
All of these teams very familiar with one another, as you mentioned right off the top. Of course, 3 out of the 4, as we mentioned, were in this championship last year. And of course, Hillmond with a very strong season in the regular campaign.
Gardner, a shot on net, glove down, and hung on to that was the goaltender, Peterson. Why don't we thank a couple of our sponsors, KD? You all right if I call you KD?
Absolutely.
I'm a big nickname guy, so let's loosen things up a little bit here. Players are stressed, and it's an exciting time. It's a fun time for us, too.
Absolutely.
Want to thank Battle River Electric and Bunge North America for making this whole weekend happen for us in beautiful Wainwright, Alberta. What a gorgeous town this is. The home of producer and a director, double hat, Dave Foley, born and raised here. One of the best looking guys you'll find in behind the net of Daysland.
Drove around all day looking for Dave's statue and couldn't find it.
No? It's because...
but I'm sure there are some landmarks that he's very familiar with.
Somewhere in there, right?
Somewhere.
We got to go over to Foley's mom's house for some chili later on today. I hear that she makes a mean chili. Pass right in front of the net. That goes over top and over the glass and out of play. Yeah, growing town, just 200 kilometers southeast of Edmonton is Wainwright, Alberta, 6,200 population, and we'll have some of the organizers here throughout the weekend, likely to chat with them, and so grateful to be a part of this fantastic facility here and this great weekend in Wainwright. Thanks to the Rustlers for hosting us. Clearing attempt stopped and hung on to right away. And as Katie, as you mentioned earlier already, a feeling out process, no really high-risk chances yet. Hillmond really having to weather the storm so far.
Playing it very safe right now. Daysland controlling the pace of play right now, but that puck goes over the glass. But as you mentioned, right now, Daysland is really controlling the play at this stage, and that with the puck over the glass, that'll come out of the zone.
Yep, beautiful facility here. Love the near full bowl. There's a bit of a running track around. Great place to watch a hockey game. Green steps up on it. Just avoids a check. Zimmer now walks in. Shot, high rising one. Rebound right there. Goaltender Jimmy Peterson has been the busiest guy yet.
Tested early and often.
Zimmer's 7 seasons with Daysland. Played 59 games in the AJHL. Previously Fort Saskatchewan Traders in 06-07, which then became the St. Albert Steel and the now Whitecourt Wolverines. Puck behind the net. Hillmond again. Weathering the storm effort. Strong on that effort. Green shot just wide of the net, looking for a deflection. Zimmer plays the cycle game, but no support. Comes out the other side for Hillmond defender Sean Newman. Sends it up, backhander, and down into the Daysland zone. In behind the net to set that one up is Carlson. Lex to take the outlet of Trotman. Trots over the blue line to the left side towards centering pass. Gets some love from the goaltender Peterson, who's been our star of the game if we're picking one so far. Centering pass. What a save by Peterson Gardner. Centering pass across to Benefield on the doorstep. Peterson got the pad down.
An absolutely larcenous save by Peterson as he sticks the right pad out with that through that centering pass. And we almost had our first goal of the tournament, but Jimmy Peterson.
Here's another look at that there. Sorry,
great
Kev.
Replay and great work from our crew. And Peterson sticks the right pad out and makes the first. He's made a lot of saves, but that's the first big save of the hockey game.
Benefield knows a thing or two about scoring. Led the Capital Junior League in at 15 and 16. 122 goals through 129 games played. So that's a special save, even more with that statistic. Benefield's got it again. Trying to turn something up again here. 5.5 gone. 5-1 of the shots on goal from a beautiful Wainwright, Alberta. Dave Dawson and Kevin Dunn on this ICU Video Productions webcast. Thanks so much for joining us today. Kevin and I are going to be swapping off back and forth, calling games all weekend long.
It's going to be a fantastic weekend of hockey, and it's a great championship weekend here, as you mentioned, in the city of Wainwright.
A lot of the locals here are watching the Junior B Provincials in St. Paul as well. Wainwright Junior B team, also a strong unit. So we have an icing call here.
And with NHL playoffs returning to Alberta, this province is an absolute hotbed right now in terms of hockey. We are an absolutely hockey-mad province right now.
It's a hot shot through the crease and wide. Great point there, Kev. Daysland all over Hillmond right here. They're just trying to weather the storm, as I've said 5 times already in this young webcast from Wainwright. Bump behind the net. He's trying to get a centering pass. Far point goes to Erickson. Erickson thinks about it. Puts it off of the glass, in back behind. Goaltender doesn't know where it is. Right through the crease, scores! I believe it went off the defender. Slipped through the pads of the goaltender, Peterson. And Daysland has opened the scoring, 1-0.
Number 17, Grayson Soprovich. No mistake whatsoever, right on the doorstep, and he buries the first. He scores if you're doing trivia, Soprovich with the first goal of these championships, and he makes no mistake. That's a goal scorer's goal. When you're that close, you got to bury that chance, and that's exactly what he did.
1-0 Daysland. Soprovich, 6 seasons in the Northeast Junior Hockey League, Junior Bs. 98 goals through 167 games played. They're back on it again. Waiting for the official confirmation of the goal here.
Goal scored by number 17, Grayson Soprovich. Assist by number 16, Matt Foster. And number 12, Curtis Bergstrom.
Soprovich from Erickson and Foster is the official scoring play. Daysland out to a 1-0 lead, 7-1. The shots on goal early on, Kev. Hillmond now on the attack. Centering pass, scores! Just like that, Hillmond is back in the game.
Number 14, Tian Anderson, right on the doorstep, right out front. And Hillmond answers back on only their second shot on goal of the game. A little bit of a defensive lapse by Daysland here as they get caught running around a bit. And Anderson makes no mistakes, and we've got a tie hockey game. Just like that.
That's all it takes, shots on goal, right?
That's
How
right.
often do you see that in high levels of hockey, Kev, when you're watching a game, one team weathers a storm, you wait for the other chance, like circa Minnesota Wild early 2000s, is it not?
Absolutely, and you settle down and okay, we got that goal under our belt, and then suddenly the other team, you give them a little bit of a lift too. They want to answer back, and that is exactly what the Hitmen have done. Sean
Newman and Jared Wayhill get the assists on that. All tied up at 1 from the senior AA Provincials. And a game number 1. It's been all Daysland so far, but Hillmond ties it up. And here we go again. Daysland, the defending provincial champions, been here a number of times before. Trying to get right back and win that gold again. Broadcast on Sunday evening. Hillmond on the attack, though. Up comes Tenney. Hits the blue line. Pass across. Little toey. Nice move by Duggan. Duggan, one of the two. We'll go with Duggan. How does that sound? Sounds good to me. Daysland back out again after a brief pressure effort. Nice defensive play by Hillmond, who seems to short up a little more defensively and a little more aggressive in their breakout passes. Noble trying to get the centering pass, could not put it over the stick of Petiot. Bumped for his efforts, and Zimmer is going to flip it up in the air and down the ice.
Suddenly that goal has lifted the Hitmen. Now all of a sudden you can see there's much more confidence in the boys from Saskatchewan.
Centering pass and a nice job sacrificing his body was Mazga to get that puck across to Priest, who really had to be sharp on that one. But a nice save by the goaltender as well.
Great save by the goaltender here with tie hockey game at this point, but it's been very entertaining. And as we talked about, in a short tournament, you've got to watch your endurance, you've got to watch your nutrition, all of those sorts of things. But these teams are laying it all out on the line here in game 1.
May as well get out of the way. Winning is what you got to do in these provincial tournaments, especially when there's only 4 teams. Quite often you'll see 6 or 8 or even 10 sometimes, depending on the size. But 4 teams, 1 win makes all the difference in the world in these tournaments. Dumped in, and Sinclair bobbles that one. Sinclair, they got quite the 1-2 goaltending punch here in Daysland. A guy by the name of Alan York is the backup to Sinclair, a Columbus Blue Jackets draft pick. Spent a number of years playing pro hockey, NCAA hockey. He's not playing tonight, but Sinclair hasn't been that bad so far, although 1 goal and 3 shots. But it's been all Daysland, has it not, Kevin?
Absolutely. And I'm sure we'll see Mr. York at some point as we mentioned, in a short tournament like this. You have to go with you almost have to go with a 2-goalie system.
Absolutely. Half wall, trying to center it, cannot bring it towards Annette Soprovich. He's going to put it up long for his brother, gets sent right back down into the Daysland zone. Gardner goes to pick it up, and that will be an icing call all the way back down into Hillmond territory. Near the midway portion of the first period here, shot 7-3 in favor of Daysland. Let's take a quick look at the schedule breakdown for the weekend. Not a bad idea. Wainwright is coming up, the hometown team, playing right after this game. Excited to watch and call that one. Wainwright Rustlers and the Nanton Palominos right after this is a shot from the side. His goaltender's got to be sharp again. Mr. Jimmy Peterson, been a busy boy. Foster hits center. One touch from Soprovich to his brother and picked off by Newman. Hillmond will regroup. Left wing pass. Dugan dumps it in. Tenney goes after it. Goaltender Sinclair out there to stop it. Up the boards, man cuts it off, deflected. Dangerous side of the net, quick shot, save rebound, and Sinclair kicks it right out like a juicy steak right into the slot there, but cleared out of harm's way, and it goes all the way down the ice, deflected. Icing will be waved off. Shots are 8-4. Dudley rides his man into the half wall, the far side there. Comes back to the point. Quick shot, the rolling puck off the side of the net. Clearing attempt doesn't go far. Sinclair having trouble again. Centering pass right there, fanned on the shot. Noble couldn't get enough wood on that one to put it over top of the sprawling goaltender. Sinclair looks to be having a little bit of trouble as of late.
All of a sudden, Hillmond, after they tied this game, now all of a sudden you see the Hitmen. We've seen the momentum shift a little bit here. All of a sudden, Daysland gave up the goal to the Hitmen. Now all of a sudden you can see things are starting to even off. Both teams are now settling in.
Is it just me or does Sinclair seem a little shaky to you? Maybe some nerves? Doesn't really look that calm with puck possession.
Has had trouble handling the puck so far. A little bit of a bouncing puck too. We've seen it so far in this one.
Mm-hmm. No, fair assessment for sure. As Peterson almost bobbled that one and gave it away into the empty cage. Had to come back to his post and retreat and maintain his ground. Nice inside-outside move towards that. Mazga's shot, I believe that may have got a piece of a defender before actually hitting the net. They did credit him with one shot. 9-5, Daysland leads on that category. 8:05 left in the opening period. Tied at one here from Wainwright, Alberta, in the Senior AA Hockey Alberta Provincial Championship. Dave Dawson and Kevin Don on this ICU Video Productions webcast. Thanks so much for joining us this fine evening. Boy, as Kevin mentioned a few moments ago, hockey is hot in Alberta right now. Oil Town going back to the playoffs.
Finally.
A big sigh of relief in this area.
I was just going to say, I'll tell you, it's been a long wait, and it makes it all the sweeter in some ways.
Newman missing the shot from the point. And again, you saw Sinclair bobble that one. May have got that one high. Looked like he may have got that one under the collar. If Kyle Matz can cue up a replay for us on that. But nonetheless, Oilers' excitement.
Tons of excitement. The city is really alive. It's as alive as Wainwright this weekend. You can compare the two cities now because we've got a great tournament here, and the Oilers are about to start their own little tournament.
Yeah,
with that tiny little trophy that they've chased a few times.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kyle, for the replay there. You saw that high rising shot into the neck of goaltender Sinclair. He looks to have shaken that one off. And here's a chance for Daysland, and a 2-on-1 developing. Inside, outside, shot! Nice pad save by Peterson. Rebound. And again, the Stars really are the stars of this game so far. Centering pass, Zimmer, a shot. Looked like he got a stick over to the top and wide. Big shot, another one, Green. Missed the net, and that goes all the way outside of the zone. And Carlson goes back to settle it down. Boy, you can see how well the Daysland Stars really be able to control the puck and move it along, much like the Detroit Red Wings of years ago.
Absolutely. You can see why this team had such a great season, 14-1, with only 3 overtime losses in their entire schedule. So they're a team that's coming in confident and ready to go.
Here's a shot from the left side. Saved by Peterson. They can transition that quickly from one end to the ice to the other. Shot deflected off of a stick, knocked into the corner. Hillmond with a little bit of pressure, some aggression there. Picharka in, battling.
As we said, both teams settling in all of a sudden. Now they're starting to bump a little bit. Now the teams are settling into this tournament, both in terms of physicality, in terms of pace. It's all happening now, and this tournament is on.
Defender Mark with quite the exciting beard as well.
Very Burns-ish.
Sporting that, yeah. And he gets hammered into the boards on the offside call. Daysland, as he had mentioned, Kev, they know a thing or two about winning. 2016 provincial championships. They lost to Nanton 6-5 in 2015, as they did losing in 2014 and 2013, but they won in 2012, so they are no strangers to this tournament.
A little bit of a dynasty out there in the North Central Hockey League.
No doubt.
Of course, they swept Eckville and Bonnyville in their series to get to this tournament, so they're on a serious roll going in to the Senior Men's AA Provincial Championships.
14-1-0-3, as Kev did mention there, in the North Central Hockey League. As the class of this tournament, we'll use with air quotes, if we do use air quotes. Can I do that?
Absolutely.
There's one team undefeated, and that are the Nanton Palominos. The Wainwright Rustlers are 18-1. So, yeah, that's what you get when you get provincial hockey championships. You get the class of the entire leagues. Soprovich from behind the net. His brother has the goal for Daysland, and a shot on that easily hung on to by Jimmy Peterson.
Grayson Soprovich, the Stars scoring leader this season with 11 goals and 19 assists, good for 30 points. His brother, Zachary, second in scoring, so I'm sure the two brothers remind each other of that on a daily basis probably, but Zachary Soprovich with a great season too, 11 goals and 14 assists.
Do you have any brothers, Kev?
I do have one brother, yes.
So the rivalry is through
that
and through,
never
right?
gets old.
Never ends.
Never ends. Never ends.
Effort. Never-ending effort here for Daysland, as Zimmer has to be creative to avoid a check. Gardner, run a pass across, scores! Whoo! That's a thing of beauty. What an effort by Gardner to get it across to effort to make it 2-1 for Daysland.
Number 91, Scott Effort, he's parked to the right of Jimmy Peterson, and he's waiting. Here's the replay from Kyle, and that's a goal scorer's goal right there. You load up and you fire, and he makes absolutely no mistake, and Peterson had absolutely no chance on that one.
What an I don't know if I'm more impressed with a pass or when you catch a puck that hot to be able to settle it down and pop it in. Either one of those.
Very great hands on number 91, Scott Effort, as Daysland jumps out to a 2-1 lead.
Official scoring play is Effort from Gardner, but Hillmond back on the attack again. Shot, passive rebound, right there, side of the net. Not able to capitalize was Tenney, who was the initial shot. Bouncing puck right through the crease, came back to Tenney, not able to put it in the awning cage. 2-1 remains the score, 12-7 shots on goal as Sinclair continues to have some more puck trouble. Let's get a replay here by Kyle Matz, pardon me. And yeah, you saw the puck just bobbled by Jordy Dugan, not able to settle that bouncing puck down as Tenney almost spot that in the empty net. Just like the last goal, 40 seconds apart, right?
You bet.
Shot from the point, another save. Sinclair able to absorb that one and hang on for the draw.
Sinclair with no trouble, as you mentioned, as we've talked about. Sinclair with some troubles with the puck. The puck's been bouncing a little bit tonight, but with no mistake there. So probably getting a little more confident in terms of puck handling, but he struggled through the first 15 minutes and 50 seconds.
Suffice to say nerves. Can we?
Absolutely.
We definitely have to. You tagged on that early
yeah.
on. I think it's definitely fair to say nerves.
Oh, sure.
You totally set the bed for that early on, Kev. So definitely 4 minutes left in this opening period. 2-1 Daysland in Game 1 of the Senior AA Provincial Championships. Hockey Alberta from Wainwright, Alberta. Still have a chance to come down and watch some games this weekend. It's such a nice drive from Edmonton, too, to get yourself out of the city. Left wing pass. Mazga has had a couple of shots. There's one, side of the net. He's created some opportunities so far for Hillmond already from the Sask Alta Hockey League. Another shot, and Peterson had to be quick to find that rebound, or else that was going in for 3-1.
Good rebound control by number 39, Jimmy Peterson, the Hillmond goaltender.
And from what I calculate, the only goaltender that is dressed for this game. So if something happens to him, that could be a little bit of trouble. I don't see another goaltender on the bench. But they're riding him hot right now.
That's right, absolutely. You hope that
excuse me, Kev.
You get another goal. We get another goaltender in here. That's for sure.
2-on-1 that knocked out of the way, and now 2-on-3. Gardner with some speed, looking like Mike Gardner. Possible relation there with the way the hair goes out the back of the head too. Known for his speed and his hair, those two things that Kevin, you and I would share memories of that, being some young at heart guys. We're not going to lie.
No stranger to the mullet with the name Gardner, that's for sure.
You probably grew up watching those guys.
Absolutely.
And Ron Duguay, another guy who used to wear that big mullet too. Right wing shot, safe rebound, kicked right out into the slot again and cleared out of the way. Well, if you're just joining us, it was all Daysland early on. Hillmond had their chance 40 seconds after Daysland scored to tie it up, and it's been a little bit more back and forth since that, I would have to say, Mr. Donnan.
Hillmond seems to be a little bit more tight checking, especially against this Soprovich line, we can call it that, the brotherly line here, because obviously Grayson and Zachary, the two leading scorers for Daysland, and Hillmond obviously has done some advanced scouting.
Yeah, and that is probably that actually is a 100% assessment of this roster. As you see effort, a shot goes wide of the net. Hillmond, their leading scorer this season in 12 games, 15 points. And if you look at the other side of the equation, Saporovich, 30 points through 16 games, 11 goals, 19 assists. So heavily offensive roster. The other three teams, Hillmond, shot side of the net. Again on the attack, Daysland all over him. We'll wrap that up quickly. Hillmond are the tight checkers and the three powerhouses. But they got to weather this storm if they want to remain. Delayed penalty call coming up against the Hitmen here. Are going to get hit with an early penalty kill, as Peterson has been their best penalty killer so far. But the Stars, if all not already star-studded, are going to the power play with a 2-1 lead with $1:34 left in this opening period.
And we got a little bit of we have a little bit of a discussion happening just to the right of number 39, Jimmy Peterson. A couple of guys welcoming each other to Wainwright.
Yeah, senior AA hockey is known for sharing of the friendlies.
A little bit of old-time hockey in senior men's, and that's what makes it so entertaining.
Looks like Brad Cruikshank going to the box. You get a nice shot there from our cameraman. This beautiful facility in Wainwright, Alberta. 6,200 people. Population of this wonderful town. Thanks so much to this great town for putting this on for us. Thanks as well to Hall & Company, Crop Production Services, Olson's Construction, Wainwright Car Dealers Association, Wainwright Liquor, and cold beer. Good chance, Mr. Kevin Donnan, some liquor and cold beer may be consumed this weekend, in this beautiful weekend in Wainwright, Alberta.
You just never know. At a senior men's hockey tournament, there might be a barley pop or two shared.
No chance. Draw to the right side of Peterson. Soprovich lines up. Foster to the right side, his brother to the left. The Soprovich's exchange. Left point. Across goes to Gardner. Gardner has an assist on the go-ahead goal right now. Benefield the other side. Side of the net. Chance! Deflected off of a stick over the glass and out of play. 1:18 left in the opening period. $1.44 Cheerios left to go on the penalty. 16-10 of the shots on goal. As you get a replay of the chance on the side there again. Nice to have the replay crew on hand here at ICU Video Productions. Fine broadcast crew from the Edmonton area. Benefield, a shot goes over top of the net. And that will go out of play again. And no penalty for shooting the puck out of play in the senior AA level. So what is Hillmond?
Which never hurts, by the way.
You know what? That's a penalty that I'm kind of neither here nor there for, because I was well known for flipping it out of play. The pressure got too hot, but I do like the idea of calling a penalty too.
Absolutely.
Gardner off of the draw, looks to move the pack. Rolling puck on the side, referee with a quick whistle. We've reached the final minute of play in the opening period, and Peterson got the old goaltender's luck there with the quick whistle.
Pretty good rebound control by Jimmy Peterson there to corral that puck.
Gardner off of the draw, fakes the shot, top of the slot. Goes to Trotman, sends it down low. Right point again, Gardner. Shot, goaltender Peterson doesn't know what it's a rebound! Just off the side. Peterson had to find that rolling puck, and we've seen that puck bounce around quite a bit already early in this hockey game. Noble goes after his own dump in, has to slide by Gardner, but to no avail as Gardner will grab it right back again. A right-hand shot. Takes the left wing option and the return pass. Trotman threw his feet so creatively to Sorensen. Drops it off at the point with 20 seconds left in the opening period. Down low behind the net. The cycle played to perfection. Gardner right point. Pass across. Back to Gardner again. Down low and through the feet of the player Petiot. Dying seconds here in the opening period and no last chance for Daysland, and that'll do it for the opening frame. Shot 16-10 in favor of Daysland, but they do lead on the scoreboard 2-1 with 26 seconds of power play time left.
What a fantastic first period. Daysland came out, established some great pace early on. Hillmond comes back to tie it up 40 seconds later. Things settle down, and the latter half of that first period was very even, a great pace, and we're in for a great second period.
First time on camera, Dave Dawson and Kevin Donnan. Thanks for joining us. And two bald guys. See, whenever you pick a broadcast crew, you got to pick the bald brothers. If you're not bald, we don't want you on camera.
Absolutely.
So thanks so much for joining us this weekend at the Senior AA Hockey Alberta Provincials from Wainwright, Alberta. ICO Video Productions webcast. And Kevin, we're in for a treat, as we've said so far throughout this first period. What a weekend of hockey we're going to be experiencing.
Well, as we mentioned, none of these teams are strangers to each other. 3 out of the 4 teams, Nanton, Daysland, and Wainwright, were all in this championship tournament last year. This is Hillman's first trip back to the championships in a while. But what we're going to see is we're going to see some great matchups, great goaltending matchups. As you mentioned, Alan York, we've got players from virtually every level of hockey. We've got former NHL players, we've got AHL, we've got guys who played in Europe. This is a very, very talented and deep tournament.
Absolutely, and so far 2-1 Daysland does lead after 20 minutes of play, and so why don't we take a short break here and get back to action for the second period. But so far so good, I think. Why don't we say, what does Hillmond need to do right now? If you're the coach of Hillmond, what do you got to do to get back in this game, even though you're only down by 1?
I think if you're Hillmond, you've got to stick to the formula. You've got to keep that Soprovich line in check. You've got to maintain the tight checking. Peterson is doing a great job in terms of, he's busy, but he's doing a great job between the pipes. If I'm the Hillmond Hitmen, stick with the formula, go with the tight checking, and just try and outwork that Daysland team and try to keep up with them, because the Northstars can skate.
Yeah, 3 champions and 1 runner-up. Don't tell that to the Hitmen, because they're here to break some hearts and get someone in the crosshairs. Is that a good play on words?
Absolutely.
A little bit of a pun there. May as well go with that. So we'll take a short break and be back for the second period of play in this ICU Video Productions webcast of the Senior AA Hockey Alberta Provincials. Welcome back to the Peace Memorial Rec Complex in Wainwright, Alberta at the 2017 Senior AA Hockey Alberta Provincials from Wainwright, Alberta. I'm Dave Dawson alongside of Kevin Donnan. 2-1 Daysland does lead after 20 minutes of play, the opening game of the Senior AA Provincials, and quite an attack right early by the Daysland Stars.
Daysland controlled the pace through the first half of the first period.
And here's the first goal.
Here is the first goal. Grayson Soprovich with no mistake. Number 17 here, right on the doorstep. He'll gather the puck from behind the net and literally just throw it on net. I mean, in a tournament like this, and especially at that point of the game, nice and early, throw on net, see what happens.
It's 40 seconds later, Hillmond battles right back.
Tian Anderson, number 14, with the goal here, right out front in the slot, no mistake, and a beautiful feed.
And that indeed it was for the second shot on goal. And at 14:55, what a pass here.
Here is the highlight reel goal of the first period. A beautiful cross-ice pass right over to Scott Effort, number 91, and absolutely no mistake on the goal.
And that's where we stand right now, 2-1 with 26 seconds left of power play time for Daysland. And Hillmond's been weathering the storm. I think that's probably the story going into the second, right?
One of the things that Hillmond has done very well, even though they're down a goal, they've done a great job against the Soprovich line in the second half of that first period. Let's see how they do here in the second.
Yeah, let's get it going here. If you're just joining us, Hillmond going broadcast left to right, wearing those Chicago Blackhawks-esque / Ottawa Senators style jerseys, and at Daysland Team Canada style, broadcast right to left. Dudley can't put it towards, not able to get it there as Gardner sends it back. Centering pass, and off of a stick, it goes over the glass and out of play. 6 seconds remaining on the player advantage.
Jimmy Peterson, a very busy goaltender in that first period, weathering 16 shots, and the bulk of those shots coming in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, and high percentage ones as well that he's had to do a great job with his rebound control. As we'll talk a little more about Mr. Sinclair on the other side, who has struggled at times to control those rebounds. Pass right in front again. Benefield saved on the doorstep. Peterson, I'm not sure if it actually hit the net, but Peterson right there stood tall regardless if it was going in or not. Penalty has expired. Both teams at even strength. 0 for 1 on the power play. The first one of this tournament, the opening game. Shot. Sinclair bobbled that one off the shoulder. Gets sent down into the corner. Hacking away at it. It goes back into Daysland zone and up on the plays. Carlson left side pass. Sorensen into the zone. Drop pass. Benefield. Hot for him. It goes past him. 2-on-1 for Hillmond. Right wing side. Centering pass. Knocked out of harm's way, and here comes heart attack mode. Slow down a little bit. It's the opposite of the way it was in the opening period, Kev. In the second period, turning it up.
Great piece of defense by number 8, John Green of Daysland, to break up that 2-on-1.
And Sinclair again takes another high shot. We've seen 3 or 4 of them going high on the collar. Right to the side of the net. Quick shot by Priest. Not able to find the 4x6. As Day now will accelerate it north-south. We're going north rather than south. Turn around in the neutral zone. Here comes Hillmond again down the left wing side. Shot saved by Sinclair. Rebound cleared out of the way. Erickson sends it up right side. Cross ice. Jacobson opposite corner. Put off the glass. Not out though as French hangs onto it in his glove and then drops it. Miazga, number 16 for Hillmond, trailing on the play as the backhand shot. Saved by Sinclair, rebound. Miazga goes off on the change, so towards the net in front is going to be Tenney waiting for a pass as the shot comes to the point. Blockered away into the corner. Tenney trying to chase after it, but there to corral it for Daysland is Petio.
Good forecheck here by the Hitmen early in this second period.
As Petio shakes off a potential penalty there. Leading Daysland the other way. Quick change. Far side half wall. Petiot thinks about it. Right in front, scores! Kind of an awkward play towards it, a broken play. Capitalizing on it was Trotman, who trots Daysland to a 3-1 lead.
Number 39, Jimmy Peterson, just gets caught going the wrong way here. A little bit of a bump from number 39, Trotman. And that goal squeaks through for a 3-1 lead. Peterson gets caught going the other way. A little bit of contact from Trotman.
All started by Petiot, who kind of brought it in, kept it, put it towards the net. Kind of a weird play that the puck slowed down. And the beneficiary on that one was Trotman, who had the open net. As Mr. Donnan did mention, it looked like it might have been a little bit of contact there, but 3-1, Daysland does lead the defending provincial champions.
And of course, Daysland wants to get off to a fast start here in this tournament. When you're the defending champion, you know, and two out of the 3 teams that you're going to face are no strangers to you. Everybody's gunning for you.
And there's the replay right there, as Kevin said. There was some goaltender interference, but it did look like Peterson had enough time to recover. But nonetheless, you touch a goaltender, usually a penalty, but
just got going the wrong way. Peterson was sliding one way, and Trotman was on the doorstep.
Either way you look at it, Hillmond with a bit of a hole to dig themselves out of, and it really was that from the time this puck was dropped. But the one thing that they can hang their hat on is Sinclair, on the Daysland net has been bobbling pucks really the whole game. They just got to find a way to put more at him. Dudley, 1-on-4, evades the stick check, sends it into the zone. Cycle back behind Renier, able to shake off Soprovic. Centering pass, can't get to Soprovic in front. Here's his brother, number 17. The leading scorer, number 1 and 2, as Mr. Donnan had alluded to if you've been with us the entire time so far on this webcast. One Soprovic to the other. Centering pass right in front, and Peterson looks on as it scoots back into the corner again and sent down the ice as the glove will go in the air for an icing call. Quick time to thank our sponsors. Why don't we say hello to Club Mojos, as well as Meatco, Cutting Edge Ventures, Holland Company, and Don Eisenman Professional Corporation. Thanks so much for making this weekend and the ICU Video Productions webcast all possible from the Peace Memorial Complex.
These tournaments don't happen without the gracious support of sponsors and volunteers, and the City of Wainwright and Hockey Alberta have done a magnificent job in terms of bringing this tournament to Wainwright, and we're in for a fabulous weekend.
What I'm excited about is when the host Wainwright Rustlers get going at 8:30. There's a one-timer just goes wide of the net. This place will be a rockin', especially if Wainwright makes it into the finals on Sunday night.
And that will be a great game because Nanton, of course, the Rustlers have a little bit of payback in mind. Of course, it was Nanton who took the Rustlers out last year in these championships, so the Rustlers have some revenge in mind.
Wainwright ended up finishing with a bronze, a 7-2 win in the bronze medal game as Nanton fell to Daysland 6-5 in gold as he gets dumped into Hillmond zone where the puck has really been for the most part of this hockey game so far. 5 minutes gone in the second period. Dave Dawson, Kevin Donnan on this ICU Video Productions webcast. Happy to be joined by Dave Foley and Rob Zitlau and Kyle Matz on the replays as well. Such a great crew to work with, and be a busy group all weekend long. And it's been what a great set of teams here as well. The Daysland, the way they put this roster together and the way that they've been able to build their program over the years. And Hillmond as well, a small community in the Britannia municipality. The Saskatchewan Hockey League.
About a 90-minute drive northeast of Wainwright is Hillmond, just northeast of Lloydminster, and between Paradise Hill and Forest Bank, Saskatchewan.
Woo, so that's where I want to go for a weekend. It sounds gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Hillmond were tied 2-2 to Wainwright up until the third period in their finals. Ended up losing 5-2. Off the goalpost, the shot goes. As we'll get back to hockey here as Kevin and I get you updated on the culture. Warwick with that one.
And the geography of western Saskatchewan.
Warwick with one of the greatest beards, a Joe Thornton-esque that I've seen. Not able to get the puck as he's waiting in front of the net as Benefield in behind Sorensen. Sticks off of him, and the Hillmond player Dugan has been a busy boy today. A lot of ice time for him. He's been all over the place, but he's got to skate it all the way back into his zone for an icing call.
Hillmond right now just trying to weather the storm at this point. Daysland with some good energy here in this first half of the second period. Daysland jumping out to the 3-1 lead early on. Anthony
Renier, the team leader in scoring for Hillmond during the regular season. Kelly Pacharka in second. 8 goals, 7 assists for Renier through 12 games. Pacharka with 12 points. Some nice body contact there. Is probably going to see a little bit of that throughout this weekend too. Jacobson dumps it down deep. Goaltender Peterson out to stop it. Some more bumping and smashing as Renier will send it. Delayed penalty call coming up here against the Daysland Stars as Hillmond will get a power play.
This is a big opportunity for the Hillmond Hitmen, as we mentioned, Renier, number 9, their leading scorer. Obviously, for the Hitmen to be successful in this tournament, they have to get number 9 going, and there is no better way to get your leading scorer going than on the power play.
Off to the penalty box goes Carson French. 3 power play goals during the regular season of the Sask-Alta Hockey League for the Hillmond Hitmen. Pacharka is one of them. Wayhill the other, as well as Tyler Dugan has the 3rd power play goal. So, and again, a scrappy and a grinding team, the Hillmond Hitmen, the Daysland Stars, the powerhouse, but have a great chance here to be able to get back on the board. 3-1 is this score, nearing the midway portion of the second period from Wainwright, Alberta. Foster over the blood, lets one go. He got all that one, didn't miss the net by much. Another shot, and big save by Peterson. Short-handed. You see the firepower of this Stars team.
Both Foster and Green with open looks right at Jimmy Peterson. 2 very hard shots, and Peterson slow to get up after that shot.
I would be too.
That one had a lot of pace on it, and as we've mentioned, Peterson, a very busy guy so far, but stood tall both times.
16 shots after the first period. Only 3 so far in this second frame, to the surprise of both Mr. Donnan and I. Off the draw. Big clapper from the point. Goes off of one of his own teammates' legs, which will bring the face-off outside of the zone of Peterson to the left portion of the ice. 12:44 left, $1.27 left in the power play for Hillmond, which has really been not so powerful so far.
Hillmond having a hard time getting set up on the power play and getting out of their own zone, as Daysland nearly cashed in with a couple of really great chances for a short-handed goal.
The winner of Game 1 will play tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, at 12:30. Wainwright and Nanton right after this broadcast at 8:30. The opening ceremonies going on as well. Hillmond trying to set something up on the player advantage. And Pettiot gets a stick up in the face, and that'll bring a penalty call, and it'll do it. Head contact is going to be the call. So 57 seconds into their power play. We will negate that as Daysland will have 1:03 of power play time to play with once that is expired.
Number 67, Dean Pettiot, slow to get up, but he is making his way to the bench, shaking up on that play.
Get a replay of it here from Kyle Madsen. 57 seconds of power play time after the 4-on-4. Definitely not a math major, I'm a broadcaster.
That's right.
Don't really get paid by the looks either. I really don't know why they pay me. They just kind of run out of the guy. I know why they brought you here. I never know why.
That's
Rob
right.
Zitlau or Dave Foley gives me a call to do these things. But happy to join you this weekend. There's 4-on-4 hockey here for 1:03. Head contacts the penalty. Gardner off of the draw. Left point shot. Looking for a deflection. Goes wide of the net. Side it bounces onto. Not able to put it back in front again. Can't go cross ice. Dudley will regroup and fire it right back in. And there's the penalty announcement that you do here. Wayhill with head contact. Did I hear a game misconduct in there too? Too busy talking.
I did not catch if there was a game misconduct. So.
Renier's in the box serving the penalty, so I think Wayhill got thrown out. Head contact and a game misconduct.
The shoulder to the head.
That's a big, big loss for the Hillmond Hitmen. Oh, there's Wayhill right there. Maybe it was a 10-minute misconduct. I thought I heard the word misconduct. Could have sworn I did, and cameraman Dave Foley is nodding as well, as you see a replay there on that shot. Nonetheless, we'll sort those details out later. 20-13, the shots on goal. As I did mention, a winner of this game and the next game play tomorrow at 12:30. And the losers play at 1. Loser of Game 3 and winner of Game 4 goes Saturday night at 8:30. You can check all that stuff out on the the interwebs, as they say. You probably got a Google in front of you if you're watching this webcast, so you probably already have that schedule up. 4-on-4 hockey, some open ice, right wing side. Effort, turns and waits, cross ice to Green. Right back in there for Effort again, shot off of a stick and into the corner. Foster, top of the far side circle, looks to set up power play now for 57 seconds. 15 of those have ticked off already. Bumped behind the net. Zimmer is going to put it back to Green. Green bobbles it and it loses it, and it comes outside of the zone, which will kill probably about 10 seconds or so.
Number 91, Scott Effort of Daysland, not the kind of guy you want to give a lot of room to, as he's already got a goal tonight.
Yeah, well put. Zimmer drops it off. Green has the puck. 152 games played in the Capital League. 27 goals, 82 points through that. It's his rookie year with Daysland. And there's Effort, the man that Mr. Donnan has already mentioned. A left side pass for Foster over the blue line. Gets bumped off of it. Both teams at even strength. That puck will bounce into the crowd, which will bring along a whistle. 0 for 2, the Daysland Stars are on the player advantage, and Hillmond with 0 for 1, an abbreviated power play. Things getting a little bit unfriendly here, as they usually do. Some more of our sponsors, thanks to Boston Pizza as well as Doug's Well Service. Thanks to ACOM. And thanks to Don Eisman Professional Corporation for making this weekend all possible. As we mentioned off the top, a win is everything in these tournaments, especially with 4 teams.
In a short tournament, you've got to get your wins in early so you can get the time, get the rest, and give your players the opportunity to get. You don't get a lot of rest on a short weekend like this.
Dudley,
and the wins are important.
Sorry, Kev. Dudley, as it's dumped in, it just goes wide of the net. Bouncing puck again. It's going to bring it back out through center to Gardner, who's seen so much time already in this game. Hillman back in their heels.
You want to get that first win, then you can set your schedule with the rest of your team the rest of the way. That's why it's so important. Get that game 1 win. Easier said than done. But get it out of the way first, and of course, then you can roll through the tournament after that.
A couple of dangerous giveaways there in the Daysland zone, as they're got to be a little more responsible with the puck, and that'll bring on a Hillman power play, too. Good forecheck by the Hitmen there. Something positive to look at as Daysland has been on the attack for the better portion of the second period, but a relentless forecheck has caused a power play and a penalty going towards Daysland.
Number 19, Riley Benefield, guilty of the slash. And he'll take a 2-minute rest.
Couple of not so responsible giveaways throughout that sequence there, which will bring on a Hillman power play. Off of the draw, looking up for the one-timer. Man, not able to let that one rip. Possibly my favorite name in this tournament. I'm a big name guy. Brewman.
Brewman.
That, if he doesn't work at Wainwright Liquor and Cold Beer, or somewhere along the lines of an organization of that caliber, he may need to rethink his life choices. Your name is Brewman. Love it. Probably a great guy.
Absolutely.
I love names. Names are my favorite, especially hockey player names, right? Personalities. Absolutely all of it. There's a gloved ahead pass. That'll bring about a whistle here. 4-on-4 hockey.
Hillman down by 2 goals here.
5-on-5, excuse me.
Pretty and an important power play here for Hillman. Obviously down a couple of goals here in the latter half of this second period, and as we've talked about, Hillman very well known for their defense. They're not a high-scoring team, so they have to take all of the offensive opportunities they can.
The thought I was going with before I lost my train of thought was that Daysland in 4-on-4 hockey proved to be a little more dangerous, but Hillman here with the power play. We'll see what they can do, as 4-on-4 is probably where they want to avoid in a speed game. Grind it out and wear them down.
You don't want to give the Northlands a lot of the Northstars a lot of open ice. They're a disciplined team and a very well they can skate like the wind. So you cannot give this Northstars team a lot of room out there.
Crookshank pass across, goes up into the flags, and that'll hit the netting and go out of play. 39 seconds left in the power play. 20-14, the shots on goal in favor of Daysland. Relentless attack still. Draw to the right side of Sinclair. Shot is blocked off of the leg. Claren attempt, Gardner waits for it, and then he's going to send it down to relieve some pressure. Pacharka looks to set up shop. Anderson, no, he's going to take the left side outlet. Bobbled in the feet, though, was Politeski. Dying seconds of this power play, and there really hasn't been anything to show for it for the Hitmen at all, and the way they had created it was some fierce pressure down low, but you're seeing the offensive prowess as Sorensen does leave the box.
Great energy on the penalty kill by Daysland, these last two penalties, and they have controlled the penalty kill and have done an outstanding job in terms of moving the puck and fighting for the puck.
Petiot puts it off the boards, up to Zimmer, 2-on-1 developing. To Effort, wide open shot, save, rebound, side of the net, can't pop it in, and hanging onto it is Peterson, who's been the busiest man in this rink. What a sequence, and Jimmy Peterson up to the test.
Every member of the Hitmen is going to come over to Peterson and give him a tap for that sequence, because Jimmy Peterson kept this at a 2-goal disadvantage, and when you get Effort, number 91 of Daysland, open like that, he usually converts.
I'm going to have fun with that name all weekend, and rightfully so. What an effort by Peterson, as Effort is all alone, couldn't pop the rebound in, and that has got to give the Hitmen a little bit of a boost, you would hope, if you're a fan of the Hillmond team. 3-1, they're down. A shot on the side, pass right across, hopped over the stick. That almost one, Kev, that maybe you might want to shoot rather than passing that across.
I think one extra pass by Miazga there, right in on goal, is one of those ones where when you're down 2 goals, you've got to shoot that puck.
Here's a shot off his own teammate's leg. A rolling puck pops into the corner, and we have another penalty call coming, this time going to Hillmond as things do get a little more physical. It's likely Timothy Priest. An unholy move there, as you can see, some more pushing and shoving, and a great shot on that by Dave Foley. A close-up is Petiot, likely exchanging weekend plans.
Big battle in front there, another slashing penalty coming here. Looks like these penalties could offset.
Not a very disciplined play by Petiot, as Priest was already going on his way to the box. And Priest will be heading there. And yeah, likely bring along, not Petiot, it's Bergstrom who's going to be going to the box. We got to look in the replay. The initial infraction.
It's going to be a 2-and-1 here.
Yeah, it will be Hillmond, who remains with the power play, as Petiot and Bergman go into the box.
Bit of an undisciplined sequence there by Daysland with a 2-goal lead. You don't want to let Hillman back into this hockey game, especially with the way Jimmy Peterson is playing. He's given the Hitmen a big lift here with some big saves in the second period.
Almost one of those plays for Daysland. You figure that, we got the kind of firepower that we can take penalties like that. Like, what's the mindset, you wonder, of some of the coaches, Chester Blatz or Dallas Kaczynski, if you can't really reel your guys in. You're like, just let them off the leash. Physically intimidate too, Kev. We've talked a lot about the wins, the goals for, how important that is in a provincial tournament.
Absolutely.
Intimidation, probably a little bit of that in the first game too, right? Daysland has the powerhouse intimidating the runner-up.
Little bit of it. You've been seeing a little bit of that. You get that 2-goal lead, you get a little more confident, you get a little more cocky, and perhaps you want to throw your weight around a little bit. But you definitely don't want to take too many chances because,
Sure.
With the goaltending of the Hitmen, you don't want to let them back into this thing.
Yeah, well put. Green is going to send it up. Nice hand-eye there by Newman to stop it at the blue line. Miazga puts it towards, and Newman couldn't catch up with it. And around the other way goes Effort. Left wing pass for Zimmer. Showing 4-on-4 hockey on the board and not showing a power play at all. So we're going to count those. There are 2 bodies. There's I only see 1 body on the side. Well, here come the penalty announcement. Maybe we'll listen to this one.
Pettiot attempted misconduct. Hillmond, number 11, Tim
Pettiot gets the misconduct there with the extracurricular stuff in front of the net.
Yes, the extra body in the box is the 10-minute misconduct to Pettiot. So Bergstrom, as well as the initial infraction to Hillmond, are your offsetting penalties with the 10-minute misconduct.
That's right. Pettiot getting the 10-minute misconduct for the extra stuff behind the net, I think.
16-10 shots on goal after the first period. Shots are 6-4 in favor of Daysland in the second for a two-period total so far of 22-14. 5:18 left in the second period. It is 3-1 Daysland in the opening game of the Hockey Alberta Senior AA Provincials from Wainwright. Really enjoyed my drive out here. This beautiful area, a couple hours south of Edmonton. Just a peaceful drive if you're looking for a break from the busyness throughout the weekend. Oilers clinch the playoffs. You just lean back and relax and just kick back, have a cold one. Back to the point. Shot Dudley, save Peterson, rebound, scoots into the corner. Dudley at the point again, fakes the shot. Saparovic, shot, save, rebound, and Peterson one more time with that sponge-like chest protector, absorbs it for the faceoff.
Ice water in his veins, Jimmy Peterson. I'll tell you, cool and calm back there. He's been under siege through this hockey game, but he has been the best player on the ice for the Hitmen.
So replay of the point shot there, and able to see the way these guys can let her rip. Work at the point. We'll call him Joe Thornton. Sorensen pickpocketed, and Hillman's out the other way. Looking for some help. Nobody alongside him was Tenney. Hoping to have a line mate to pass it to. It comes back to the point again. Newman puts it down deep. Bumped on the play. Sorensen just missed the Rafi Torres crosshairs behind the net. That was almost a massive, massive check laid. Just stepped away from that one. Puck scoots out through center. Benefield picked off. 2-on-1. Shot! Saved by Sinclair, who might be one of his most calm saves he's made so far in this game, who really looked like he's been fighting the puck, but he was able to hang on to that one.
And hasn't been a busy guy here in the second period overall, but up to the test on that one. Great play by the Hitmen to break in 2-on-1.
A giveaway there. Foster picked it up, and even though Sinclair still didn't look that comfortable making the save.
Certainly did not.
Newman, a big minute man. Pass across. Pad save kicked into the corner. Foster again looking for the centering pass. It's going to go round back behind. Carlson gets rubbed out. Gets it again, though. Long lead pass almost hits Trotman, and that goes over the glass and out of play. Beautiful headman pass there, almost went in all alone.
Nice long lead pass to Troutman, number 39 for Daysland.
3:45 left in the second period. Troutman remains out there for Daysland. 3-1 is the score. 1 goal in the second period. 3 goals in the first. 40 seconds apart to open the scoring at 6:24 and 7:04. And then 14:55 is the game winner right now. There's a pass across, bobbled because of the rolling puck and rubbed out behind the net. Referee's going to blow that one dead as the net does come off of its pegs. Quick time to thank some more of our sponsors here as well. Hall & Company, Crop Production Services, Olson's Construction, as well as Armstrong's. Thank you so much for making this weekend happen for us. Glad to be joining you here. 7 games in 3 days, Mr. Kevin Donnan. Happy to be flying alongside you. It's going to be a fun time.
Absolutely. It is going to be a wonderful weekend here in Wainwright. There is a buzz out in the lobby of the arena tonight because coming up at 8:30, the home team, the host team, the Wainwright Rustlers will take on the Nenton Palominos. And that is going to be fantastic. We anticipate the Peace Memorial Multiplex will be full, and it's going to be rocking because
it's going to be a Bronc Buster.
It's going to be a
play
Bronc
on words
Buster for sure.
The rodeo culture.
You know what? And of course, Wainwright known for its rodeo at the end of June. Take the 2-hour drive. Wainwright, a bit of a festival city. Great place to be in the summertime. Of course, they've got a lot of different activities through the summer. They've got the rodeo in June. They've got Taste of Wainwright in July. And, of course, the come by the Hills Music Fest in August. So, you know what? Take a 2-hour drive to Wainwright, and you're going to find something great to do out here. It's a wonderful little town, and they've got a lot of great stuff through the summer and, of course, through the winter, too, with an outstanding minor hockey program, too.
You just wrote a commercial. I want to move to Wainwright now after you tell me all that stuff.
I'll be demanding a check from the mayor later.
Definitely. And while you're on the drive down, why not put the old YouTube on and watch the webcast, right? But not while you're driving.
No,
I guess that'd be distracting.
That's
driving.
right. Just listen, maybe.
It's a broken play, almost a 3-on-1. Cleared out of harm's way. That public service announcement brought to you by the beautiful bald head of Kevin Donnan.
Absolutely.
Also, I'm not able to say that if I wasn't bald myself, but Bald brothers got to stick together.
We may not be the best, but we're the baldest.
That's true. A couple brothers here with a dangerous play in front, and Soprovic already has one. Number 17 variety, the Soprovic, Grayson that is, and not able to pop it in as we get a look from Kyle Matz.
And that's an outstanding defensive play right there by number 12, Kelly Pacharka. Your goaltender can't find the puck, is right in the crease, and there's Pacharka parked right out in front using great body position to shield the puck, and that is an outstanding play by the Hitmen defenseman.
Work off the draw, lets it rip right into the shin pads of the oncoming defender Renier, the leading scorer for the Hillmond Hitmen during the regular season. Ripped out down the ice.
And Hillmond need to get Renier going, leading scorer on the Hitmen this season. And if they're going to be successful in this tournament, if they're going to medal in this tournament, they've got to get Renier going.
Cross ice pass for Day, not able to get a stick on it. Warwick can't keep it in, gets rubbed out. French up there, all alone, side of the net, shot! Saved by Peterson again. Almost a too many men on the ice penalty as it got dumped down into the boards. And there's a dangerous hit right in front of the Hillmond net, as Jacob said. Always frustrating for a player when the bench gets left open and somebody rubs you in there. As Peterson has to hang on to that one quickly. And watching the Don Cherry highlight videos for years, those are always the bloopers,
That's right?
Guys get hit into the bench and the commentary along with that. But
almost had to introduce himself to the Hillman squad there,
right,
because he almost got sent right through the door, or right through the gate. So
yep, there's a great look at the Peace Memorial Multiplex here in Wainwright. Such a beautiful facility. A lot of empty seats right now, but Mr. Dunn in a couple hours, that's all going to change. Shot from the side of the net. Peterson trying to find it, gets sent down the ice.
Get set for the hottest ticket in town coming up at 8:30. But of course, the opening ceremonies for the tournament come up at 8 o'clock. The volunteers and organizers get a chance to celebrate this fantastic tournament, this celebration of hockey here in Eastern Alberta.
Draw to the right side of Peterson. 26 shots on goal. He's made 23 saves so far, and I guarantee you he'll be near 40, Mr. Donnan, by the time this broadcast is over at the end of the third period, or maybe more. Benefield, I don't believe there's overtime actually in the provincial format, so it'll be only the third period. Sorensen. Left point, Carlson goes cross ice. Rolling, long time that puck took to get across, and Peterson stood his ground. There's going to be a penalty call way away from the play. Benefield draws an infraction. Timothy Priest not so saintly on that play, as he'll be sitting down in the sin bin for 2 minutes or less.
Priest heading to the confessional right now.
We're going to have so much fun with those
I know,
names.
I was going to say, with that name, I mean, it's a natural. We could be here all night.
We're going to be here all night, at least till midnight.
But for sure, power play now for Daysland.
Gardner. Down low. Peterson out of the net to rip it around, and oops, right to a Daysland player, Zimmer. Zimmer drops it off for effort. Big shot for the point, and I believe Peterson may have got a blocker on that one. It looks like it may have scooted wide. Trotman on the cycle. Zimmer moves in. The give and go, looking for that, not able to set it up because of the tight box in front of the net. Now on the half wall. Left point, Jacobson to Trotman. Fakes the shot, looking for the give and go again. Zimmer can't connect. Trying to find the back door, but the point man didn't jump up on the play. Deflected in front, rebound. Somehow Peterson brings that one in on the homing device, and sucks it into his pads to keep it at 3-1.
Pretty good work on the penalty kill here, and at the same time, great work on the power play. One thing you'll notice about Daysland is on both power play units, they can all shoot from the blue line. From the point, the Northstars can certainly load up and fire. Both Gartner and Green are both have heavy shots from the blue line.
19 seconds left, and Anderson's got a bit of a break here. Mr. Anderson towards the net. Backhand right in the crease. And trying to move him off of the puck. Finally, the goaltender covers it. And it was just outside of the crease. If he sat on that puck in the crease, that would have been a penalty shot, as we do see what looks to be a rugby scrum here. There might be a ball underneath there somewhere.
I was going to say, ICU video, one thing that ICU video does as good as anyone else is football. And that looked like there was a fumble on the play.
Fumble-aya.
It looked like we had a Wildcats or a Huskies game going on there down on the in front of the Daysland goaltender. It looked like there was a fumble on the play, but a bit of a scrum down in front. Number 27 for Daysland, David Jacobson, he was at the bottom of it, and he looks like he got the worst of it.
He's saying that he may have got a stick in the face. He's complaining that he's bleeding.
A lot going on in that scrum down to the left of the goaltender.
9.3 seconds left. Here's Kyle Matz on the replay to cue it up for us. And Anderson with a great chance, and was dropped off in the play in the backhander. A great trailing heads-up play by Brad Noble.
Hard to spot the puck here for the referee, and finally when all of those bodies hit the ice, it was time to blow the whistle, but not before there was a little bit of extracurricular activity.
58 seconds left in the power play for Daysland. A shorthanded opportunity there as the referees will try and sort things out. Why don't we take a quick chance again to say hello to some of our sponsors. Doug's Well Service, East Central Painting and Coating, Integra Tire, Star News, Tim Hortons, as well as Wainwright Lumber. Some lumber laid on that play there a couple of times, which is going to send them to the penalty box, as 2 minutes have been put on for Daysland. Number 26, Sean Comrie. So we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for 58 seconds, then 1 minute and 2 seconds of power play time for Hillmond. Hillmond, Saskatchewan in the Sask-Alta Hockey League. Same league the Wainwright Rustlers play in. Oh, and a massive hit away from the puck, and that's going to draw a crowd with 2 seconds left.
Penalty call on that one. Number 17.
Grayson Soprovich just got his clock cleaned. He did not touch the puck, and you are not allowed to throw a hit like that if a player doesn't touch the puck. So right away.
Over on the far side, number 14, that's Tian Anderson getting into it over there with number 8, the defenseman John Green for Daysland. Number 22 of Daysland now, Carson French, being sent to the penalty box.
Soprovich in La La Land on Daysland after that hit. Extending his body out, doesn't touch the puck, and boom, gets his clock cleaned. Almost reminded me of the Steve Moore and Todd Bertuzzi type of, or not, Steve Moore and when Bertuzzi retaliated. Was it Naslund the Moore hit, I believe, right?
Little bit of
Naslund extended his body and stretched out in the play, and then Moore came in and cleaned his clock, and then a melee ensued after that. Thankfully, there's no Bertuzzi-type incident with the jump on the back. But with the 2 seconds left in this opening period, you wonder if the referees are just going to run that time off the clock to be able to sort things out here. But putting a bit of a black eye on what's been so far a pretty decent game, Mr. Donnan.
Well, Hitmen are getting a little frustrated, obviously. I mean, they're getting a little bit frustrated with their lack of offense, I'm sure, because they're having a hard time getting the puck out of their own zone. At this point, you know, Jimmy Peterson is standing tall. They want to try and get some goals for their goaltender, but right now, Daysland has been controlling the action here in this second period, and the frustration starting to show for the Hitmen.
And again, 1:53 of power play time, or 1:53 of penalty time is onto the board for Daysland, and that is for number 26, Sean Comrie. Just got added on to that was Carson French for 2 minutes. And I wonder what the hit is going to be, or the penalty will be.
And we hope Soprovich is okay. I'm trying to spot him on the bench. It looked like he had enough time to somewhat ready himself for the hit. We hope he's okay. Not quite a blindside kind of thing, but it was
another good shot of this. Excuse me,
bit of
Kevin.
a dangerous hit for sure. But I think Soprovich had enough time to somewhat ready himself. He could see the hit coming.
I will come to the defense briefly for Hillmond fans and say, do you think maybe that the Hillmond player thought that Soprovich was going to touch the puck because he extended out to it? Because if he did, that's a clean hit if he touches the puck. Shoulder to shoulder. He didn't hit him in the head, right?
That's right.
From my advantage point, from what I've seen, I believe, if Kyle Matz can cue that up one more time, please. I know he's laughing right now. I just played it twice. You can slow it down just a little, Kyle, if you could.
Take one more look, and you
right,
can see Soprovich gets very close.
Yeah, shoulder on shoulder. That's a clean hit.
Very close.
Thanks, Kyle, for the replay. Appreciate that.
Great work by our crew. Great camera work by Mr. Wainwright, Dave Foley.
Got to make him the mayor, I think, eh?
Well, I think we
can
give
campaign for the mayor?
How about an honorary title?
I don't know. No disrespect.
He's a busy enough guy.
No disrespect to
Brian
Bethune.
No,
the current mayor of Wainwright right now, but Dave Foley, I think, he's been a pillar, a builder of this town. His mom's chili could probably bring home packs and packs of people, right? People come to Wainwright for that chili. All right, here we go.
Yeah, we got to be good to the real mayor because we got to live here for the weekend.
Plenty of gas left in this broadcast. 20 minutes do remain after 40. It is 3-1 for the Daysland Stars over the Hillmond Hitmen. As the first 40 minutes have been, well, the first 38 minutes, I would say, have been pretty entertaining when it comes to the hockey side of things. But the last couple of minutes, there's been a little bit of rough stuff. But I think for the most part, Kev, once things get sorted out and the guys realize that, hey, let's get back to a hockey game, Hillmond's got every chance in the world here to come back and potentially tie this up.
It's only a 2-goal game, even though Daysland has controlled the play and has really, in terms of shots, leading by 28-16. But Hillmond is getting great goaltending from Jimmy Peterson, number 39. So it's the kind of game where if you're Daysland, you don't want Hillmond to hang around in a 2-goal game. A 2-goal lead is always the worst lead you can think of, no matter the sport, because all it takes is to get 1 goal back, and then suddenly the nerves start to kick in, and the Hitmen could be back in this hockey game. It's still a very close game, and we're looking forward to a great third period.
Yeah, let's flip it to the other side of the ice. Andy Sinclair and between the pipes for Daysland hasn't really been as great between the pipes so far as the goaltender Peterson has been. What are some things potentially that the Hitmen can do to potentially capitalize on that?
Well, as we mentioned, I think the Hitmen have to stay disciplined. That's one of the things in terms, like you mentioned, those last 2 minutes. For the Hitmen to be successful in this hockey game, they have to stay disciplined. And at the same time, you know what? They have to turn up the offense now. They're a very tight checking, good defensive team, but they've got to get back into this game offensively.
Maybe put some pucks in the crease and maybe try to get some traffic in front of you, right?
And get some pucks on that goaltender.
Absolutely. Well, after 3-1, the Daysland Stars do lead here at the Peace Memorial Multiplex. Dave Dawson and Kevin Don will be here with you all weekend long on IC Video Productions webcast of the 2017 Senior AA Hockey Alberta Provincials. We'll be back with you for the third period of play. And welcome back to the Peace Memorial Multiplex in Wainwright, Alberta. Dave Dawson and Kevin Donnan here for the Senior AA Hockey Alberta Championships. 3-1. Daysland does lead after 40 in the opening game of this tournament so far. And I guess how would you summarize this game so far after 40, Kev?
Well, it's gotten a little chippy here through the second period, but you know what? It has been a great game in terms of energy, in terms of really strong play by both teams. Daysland here, you're going to see Brad Trotman here put Daysland up here 3-1, the only goal of the period. Trotman comes in as the hottest scorer on the Daysland team coming into the AA Provincial Championships. Trotman in the playoffs for the Northstars with 3 goals and 6 assists for 9 points through the playoffs. So Trotman continues his hot streak for the Northstars, and as we go into this third period, the Hitmen have a little bit of a mountain to climb.
Yeah, they do. Some rough stuff at the end of the second. Dean Pettiot set that goal up with his efforts, and a little bit of goalie interference on that play as well. Some rough stuff at the end, all due to that hit on Soprovic. Grayson Soprovic, a leading scorer, who is on the bench, which is good news for the Daysland Stars. I believe I see number 17 there, right over top of one of those signage. I think that's a 17 on the bench. So either way you look at it, 2 penalties on the board right now for Daysland and 1. So there's a brief 5-on-3, which lays at the helm for the Hillmond Hitmen to start this third period. A 4-on-3 briefly, and then it could be a 5-on-3 for an extended period of time. So if you're looking for some reason and some potential to get back in this game, now is the time.
You've got fresh ice and a lot of room out there, so we'll see what the Hitmen can do in terms of generating some offense. It's a short tournament. You've got to get back into this thing, and you've got to get scoring if you're Hillmond.
Looking for the centering pass. Cross ice to Newman. Can't hit that one. It'll chase him all the way back down. Peterson been the best player on the ice for Hillmond so far with 25 saves to go in this game and probably going to near 40 shots by the end of this game. By the time that expires, a whistler just goes wide of the net. 13 seconds left until we hit 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 20 seconds. One-time shot, high riser just over top, and Sinclair may have got a piece of that as it goes all the way down the ice.
Nice play by number 19, Benefield of Daysland, to clear that puck out.
Jacobson goes back to set it up, wearing the captain. 3-on-5. The pass will whistle up to center and go into the Hitman zone. Back there to pick it up is Dugan. Seen a lot of ice so far and a good heads-up play. Keeping it down into the zone is Trotman. Hitman will bring it out now. Dugan hits center. He's got Tenney crossing with him. 27 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Dugan keeps it. Puts it to the half circle. Looking for an outlet, trying to go back door. Not shooting yet. 14 seconds left, side of the net. Still haven't been able to get a shot on goal. Cruikshank, top of the slot. Looking for the give and go. 5 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Nothing to show for it right now. Cruikshank sends it across. Gardner's out of the box. Shot, pad save, rebound. Sinclair is going to gobble that up with 3 seconds remaining on the power play.
Sinclair grabs the backhand shot out of the air from number 21, Kyle Tenney. Good hand-eye by Tenney to try and lift that upstairs, but Sinclair up to the task. A little bit of hot dog
on the Grand Fear there, too.
And the Hitmen, of course, as we mentioned, it's all about getting pucks to the net now when you're down 2 goals here early in the third period.
On Daysland now, 2-on-1. Centering pass! Off of the net goes Soprovic. Bodied into it by Newman, and no shot on goal as they are even strength after being down 2 men. Here's a replay here by Kyle Matz. The centering pass across. Soprovic couldn't get a stick on it. Newman played that one well, knocking him into the net, and we have a whistle.
And it's good to see Soprovic back out there after taking that heavy hit at the end of the second period.
Soprovic lines up for the draw. Wins that one, but Hillmond, the first team on it, Waghill, sends it cross ice. Into the zone goes Callback. Pass in front. Nice pad save by Sinclair, who really has settled in, and he's nearing 20 shots on goal.
Hitmen coming out with a lot of energy here in the opening couple of minutes of the third period.
Not able to capitalize on that 5-on-3, but that Daysland team equally as excited to be able to get their first win in the Senior AA Provincials. Zimmer trying to fight it towards the net. Good active stick by Schneider to slip that one into the corner. And here's a breakaway chance for Hillmond. No, back check. Great job. Renier, the leading scorer, almost went in all alone. Not able to get a shot on goal. Great back check by the Daysland defender.
Number 14, Rhett Dudley with the extra effort for Daysland.
Studley Dudley on that one.
To break up that breakaway.
Peterson tries to rip it around the boards. Benefield in behind, cuts it off. Centering pass! Thought he had, though, when he was ready to celebrate. Goes wide of the net.
Zimmer had the stick halfway up in the air. He thought he had one. But there was Jimmy Peterson, number 39, as he has been all night.
Jimmy P. Sinclair will hang on to that one for the face-off. 3.5 gone in the third period. 28-18 shots on goal.
Hillman Hitmen right now in this first 3.5 minutes really have come out and have really established things. They've come out of the room with a great deal of energy. They know they have to get back into this thing and get back in fast.
Not able to win the draw, and Cruikshank will, excuse me. It's Carlson, puts it off the boards on the right side. Delayed offside call and a more body contact. Things have cleaned up a little bit since the end of the second period. Physical's fine, but the dirty stuff is what the referees will not allow, of course. Slows the game down. Sorensen, right wing pass. Inside, outside, creating a 2-on-1. Left wing pass. Return in front, and not able to get a shot away was Trotman. Battled that at his feet. I don't think he expected the return pass, as that puck is knocked down with a high stick, and it's waved off.
Wasn't ready for that pass, for sure.
When it's a 2-on-1 and you have an open net, you'd expect to shoot it, but I guess when you're up by a pair and you're confident, as Schneider puts it on, and Sinclair shoulders it over the glass and out of play. Kev, why don't we say thanks to a couple more of our sponsors here. Barrett Oilfield, Battle River Electric, Bunge North America, ACOM, Club Mojos, and Meatco.
To give you a sense of just how quickly the Hitmen have come out here in the opening couple of minutes here of the third period, or the opening 4 minutes, Daysland have yet to register a shot on goal.
Great point. Ratburn attempt for Dugan. Shot. Rebound. Scores! Cruikshank amidst the shank into the stomach. 3-2. They're right back in this game.
No mistake by number 26, Brad Cruikshank, right in the slot with the wrist shot and just absolutely buries it behind Andy Sinclair. No mistake whatsoever by Cruikshank, number 26, and that is exactly what we talked about in between the second and third period. You can't let a team like this hang around, and suddenly, now the Hitmen, that's a big lift and a big goal by number 26, Cruikshank of Hillmond.
Dugan started that play off with some forecheck presence, and Cruikshank able to finish it with Sinclair down on his knees. Johnny on the spot. 3-2, 1-goal game, just like that. Right back in it. And Kev, you talked about for the last 4 minutes how Hillmond has started this third period. And here's a chance for Benefield shot. Whipped that one wide of the net. Another shot save, rebound, just wide again.
Daysland trying to answer back, as we talked about in between periods. A 2-goal lead is one of the most, when you're in that lead, when you have that 2-goal lead, it's one of the most dangerous leads you can have.
You are 100% correct. Wayhill dumps it in opposite corner. Dugan gets the assist on that one. Obviously, 3-2 is the score. The winners of each game will play tomorrow at 12:30. There'll be 2 games back-to-back. It's a centering pass right in front. Schneider kicked that out of the way, and Erickson cross ice. Benefield backhand scores! Just like that. What a nice toey. Benefield regains the 2-goal lead.
Outstanding puck movement by the Stars here in terms of moving the puck around over to Benefield, and then no mistake on the backhand, all alone on the doorstep, and Peterson had no chance with Benefield parked right out in front. So the Northstars come back and answer right back, which is exactly what you have to do
got to be frustrating for Hillmond, battling back. A great start to the third period. Daysland right there. Some lackadaisical play in their own zone, I think, probably more than anything. Quick strike offense from Daysland.
Great stuff from Daysland in terms of answering back, and getting the moment, seizing the momentum back. Hillmond obviously gained some confidence. Now Daysland comes right back just a few seconds later and gets the 2-goal lead back for the Northstars.
The Provincials and Foster out there to continue to put the pressure on. Petiot from the point trying to find one of the Provincials. And Grayson gets rubbed out again. He's been beat on heavily in this game. Puck scoots out in front, not able to keep it there. And Peterson, ever so effortfully, is that even a word? What am I trying to say? See, that's what's great. You can make up words.
Sure.
That's wonderful. But put a lot of effort into getting back up again is what I was trying to say. And how exhausted he is, you could tell, really, really trying to keep his team in this game down by 2 goals.
30 shots on goal on Jimmy Peterson tonight, so he's been a very busy guy.
Gardner's shot deflected, kicked away again, back and quick up to his feet. Numbers the other way. Tenney dumps it into the Daysland zone. Sinclair rips it around the board, stop to the right point. Newman can't keep it there. Dudley, the backhand pass. 2-on-1 for Daysland. Benefield, shot, scores! Benefield having a Benefield day right now with his second goal in 2.5 minutes to make it 5-2 for Daysland.
2-on-1 opportunity here. Sorensen gets the outlet pass, tips it over to Benefield. 2-on-1. Benefield loads up and fires. And we've got a 5-2 hockey game now, and the Northstars have really established themselves here now.
Really starting to pull away. They are in this hockey game. Daysland loaded up on the goal category. 113 goals scored this season. We're on the other side of the coin.
Benefield in 5
Hillmond.
games in 5 games in the playoffs. Benefield with a goal and 4 assists, so he comes in hot. He's a rookie with the Daysland Northstars, and he's got 2 big goals here for Daysland here in Game 1 of the AA Provincial Championships.
Only 55 goals scored through 15 games for Hillmond in the North Alta, or the Sask Alta Hockey League this season, where Daysland ripped it up with 113 goals scored in the NCHL. Drop back to Carlson. 5-2, it's exploded here in the third period of play, where just when you thought Hillmond at 4:28, when they made it 3-2, it was going to be a game, and then a couple of quick goals to make it 5-2, and that is where we stand right now at the Peace Memorial Multiplex from Wainwright, Alberta.
Daysland has absolutely seized the momentum
Seized
in this
the day.
hockey game. You bet they have seized the day, absolutely, in terms of 2 quick goals just like that by Benefield, and 2 very, as we always say, goal scorers' goals.
Just caught a piece of the glove, and Peterson on that second goal that he scored. Zimmer now centering pass. Winds up Sopovich. What a save by Peterson. Showing no give up in him. Got the blocker out. What a play by Jimmy Peterson. Right in the slot to get the blocker and keep Hillmond in this game.
Peterson with yet another highlight reel save for the Hitmen here tonight.
11:25 left in this third period. 5-2 is the score. 33-21 the shots on goal in favor of the Daysland Stars, the defending senior AA provincial champions. Coming up right after this is Wainwright against Nanton, the team that they beat. Wainwright, the bronze medalist, the team that was beat by Nanton. Nanton and Daysland, those 2 teams have gone back and forth in provincial championships over the past couple of years, and you'll wonder if those 2 teams might go toe-to-toe, Kevin Donnan, on Sunday night in the gold medal game.
You have to think that the way Daysland has come out in this third period, they're settling in for this tournament, and they look like the team to beat anyway. But even though it's only 7 games, we've still got a lot of hockey to go.
Yeah, you're right. Early on it is. No cart before horse. Rodeo Town, I can easily use that pun. You'll forgive me for that. Nearing the midway portion of the third period, which has been a long one already. A lot of activity. Started with the 5-on-3 for Hillmond, not able to capitalize. They scored shortly after. And here's the high-flying Benefield. Drops it out for Sorensen. Return to Benefield! What a save again by Peterson, and Benefield was ready to celebrate his hat trick there. But Peterson said, as we get a look at the replay.
Peterson absolutely robs Benefield here. Benefield with nice little move forehand to backhand. And there's Peterson with the big save.
You can see those hands that scored 122 goals in 2 seasons in the Capital Junior League. Also spent some time in the Western Hockey League in Portland, drafted in the second round by the Lethbridge Hurricanes in 2009. So yeah, that guy's got a bit of a nose for the net. Definitely will add that comment to there.
2 fantastic programs that he has played for, so Benefield here right now.
He's got 2 goals already.
Absolutely,
looking for his third.
Absolutely relentless
Daysland with
here in the
pressure
third
on it.
period.
Zimmer scores on the centering pass. And Peterson clearly frustrated there and likely.
That's Brad Trotman, number 39, with his second goal of the hockey game.
Not too early to call the decision desk here as you see the centering pass, and Zimmer just buries it. Peterson really had no chance on that play. 6-2 now is the scores. We'll wait for the official scoring summary on the assist. I do believe, Kevin, Zimmer got the goal, and the assist went to Trotman, I believe you said, potentially. We'll wait for the official scoring play.
Trotman, of course, the hottest North Star coming into this tournament, as we mentioned. Leading scorer in the playoffs for Daysland.
Here's the official scoring announcement. Yep, Trotman picks up the assist, as KD just said. Hottest player coming into the tournament, and Peterson trying to create something for his Hitmen here. And unfortunately, Peterson can't play forward right now, and you know he'd love to if he can head down the ice. Great defensive play, standing up there on Dudley. Another Studley-Dudley play. We might have to make that a sponsored segment for the weekend. One of our champion sponsors, we can name them the Studley-Dudley play sponsor of the game.
Great defensive work by number 14 of the North Stars.
Foster gets rubbed out, maintains his foot position though. In front for Benefield! There's the hat trick goal with a tap after that. Again, gets knocked into the boards, and Priest, not an unholy move on that one, but Benefield, the nose for the net, and there's the replay, Mr. Donnan, as it is now 7-2.
And frustration for Jimmy Peterson, but really no chance on the play. A nice little tip in by Benefield, and he's got the hat trick here tonight. And right now, Daysland, whether it was nerves, whether it was the tight checking of the Hitmen, but all of a sudden, the North Stars have basically sent a message to the rest of this tournament. You're going to have to go through us to get to the gold medal.
Yep, and we look back to that moment at 4:28 when it was 3-2. Since then, Daysland has scored 4 goals in 7 minutes, and yet another one right off the whistle. Foster walks in and puts one upstairs where Grandma keeps the peanut butter. It is now 8-2.
Once again, great puck movement by the North Stars. It's a tic-tac-toe passing play, and then absolutely no mistake on the goal.
9 seconds after Benefield's hat trick goal, Foster goes upstairs to make it 8-2, and Peterson will remain in the net. May as well do that just to keep the goaltenders fresh. Dwayne Perillat is the backup goaltender, former Melford Mustang. They're behind on the goal announcements. They haven't announced Benefield's goal yet. No time to.
Timekeeper is one of the busiest people in the arena right now.
Yeah, aside from Peterson, brings on another effort shot. Puts that off of the shoulder. Here's the goal scorer. Benefield's making himself a case for the player of the game in this contest here, picking up an assist on that goal by Foster. 8 minutes left in the third period, and you know that clock is going to tick, 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 tick ever so slowly for the Hillmond Hitmen right now.
And it's got to be frustrating for the Hitmen in terms of...
Here's a chance, excuse me, Kev, shot, wide of that rebound, and it lost in the feet was Renier. Now those are the kind of bounces the Hitmen have had in this game. Wide open on the side of the net, Renier not able to get to it.
Not a lot of puck luck for the Hitmen tonight, but at the same time, it's got to be frustrating for Hillmond. They've come out here and, the score isn't indicative of where this hockey game was at for the first two periods and the first third of this third period.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like at the end of the second period. Some friendlies exchanged, and the head contact penalty is going to be the call as Daysland will go to the box. 7:26 left. Why don't we roll through a few more of our sponsors here as I'm often called Nostradamus for some of the predictions I do make, but this one can come true. We're probably going to see a few more of these, Mr. Kevin Donnan, as you get another look at that chance by Renier. Thanks to Kyle Matz for queuing that up again. We're probably going to see a few more stoppages over the next 7 minutes and 26 seconds. So let's roll through some of our sponsors. Thanks again to Wainwright Liquor and Cold Beer, Wainwright Car Dealers Association, Olson's Construction, Crop Production Services, Holland Company, Don Eisenman Professional Corporation, thanks to Barrett Oilfield, thanks as well to Battle River Electric, Bunge North America, and ACOM, thanks to Club Mojo's, Meatco, and Cutting Edge Ventures. Thanks so much for being a part of this ICU Video Productions webcast of the Senior AA 2017 Hockey Alberta Provincials. Dave Dawson and Kevin Donnan, joined by Dave Foley, Rob Zitlau, and Kyle Matz, all part of our broadcast crew this weekend. Such a beautiful town, Mr. Kevin Donnan. Wainwright, Alberta is 6,200 people, the population. A beautiful drive from Edmonton.
Absolutely. Nice little leisurely drive out here to the eastern part of our province, and it is an absolutely, you go through the Viking, Irma, and Bruce area, and it's, you know what, that is, it's a perfect little slice of Alberta. It's exactly, if you wanted to get a picture postcard of this province, this is certainly a great part of it. So
Vikings saturated with some hockey culture too,
yeah,
I think.
There's a little bit of hockey. A little bit of hockey goes on in Viking for sure.
Some senior hockey, I think, too, is probably coming to Viking as well.
Absolutely.
Well known for, obviously, the Sutters, the Bentley Generals, who are known to win a couple of hockey tournaments here or there in the Senior AA ranks. Senior AAA, I should say, the Allen Cup. Not associated with the Senior AA. Senior AAA, Allen Cup is their national tournament. Well, no infractions. Looks like offsetting minors as another one is coming here. So we'll see yet another. It's going to be a charging call. No, excuse me, a boarding call, not charging. My signal's all crossed, literally. Here's a replay of that. Gartner is going to go to the box. The hair of a Mike Gartner. There's a good shot of that. Soprovich and Gartner are talking about that on the box, and maybe they just haven't got the penalties queued up yet on the scoreboard. Maybe that's what it is, as there is 2 minutes up there. So power play time for the Hillmond Hitmen to, I would say, probably a couple more of those before this game's over. Brewman. Yeah, what a name. Has it at the point. Left-hand shot. Lets her go. Deflected over the glass and out of play.
Nice little deflection by number 7, Dustin Nahajewicz.
Another great name.
Check that. We'll, of the Hitmen, number 7. Brad Noble right up in front, you bet.
I'd much rather have the Nahajevich name.
That's right, a lot easier. Much easier. But as we were talking though, for the Hitmen, it's got to be a little bit frustrating. They kind of opened up the floodgates here early in the third period. But for the first two periods, the tight checking was obviously working, and they got to within a goal, but Daysland just sort of put their foot on the gas.
Here they are again. Captain Peterson, Jacobson, sends it down into the zone. And going to be a little more foot off the gas, as he just mentioned, and going to let this one expire. Lead pass goes into the skate of the oncoming player, Tenney. He'll have to dump it down will let them dump it down with 57 seconds remaining in the Hillmond power play. They're 0 for 4 so far by our calculations, but we don't have an abacus on hand here, and that's really what we've needed at time to time during this game.
Especially
Dugan,
in this third period.
Yeah, Dugan, the guy who set up that second at Daysland or Hillmond goal, has it to Schneider. 30 seconds left in this power play. 5:27 left in the third period. A referee blows a tire. Pass in the slot. Pad save by Sinclair, who early on in this game, and that's a cross-check from behind, and a frustration play as Pettiette will chase him down and take a cross-check to the face. That could draw an extra one. Cruikshank clearly just frustrated right now, as he was the guy who scored the second goal, but he's going to be sitting in the penalty box for probably more than 2 minutes, KD.
You bet. Cruikshank getting the stick up high on Pettiette. Pettiette being sent to the dressing room. Of course, Pettiette served a 10-minute misconduct earlier in the hockey game, so he's no stranger to the rough stuff. But with 5:17 to go here in the third period, both teams want to get through the rest of this.
That's just not a smart play at any level of hockey.
That's a frustration penalty right there, and for Hillmond, it's tough when you get to within a goal and then all of a sudden the floodgates open. Certainly, the Hitmen are a little frustrated right now.
No disrespect to the character of Brad Cruikshank, not saying that it's not a smart guy, but it's not a smart play, and a frustration play for sure, as he was instrumental in getting the team back into it at 3-2. We started. Why don't we take a quick look at the entire scoring summary so far? Yeah, we got time to go through 10 goals, Kev, don't we?
Sure, absolutely.
Let's get her done. Daysland open it up at 6:24 was Soprovic on the assist by Miazga. Oh, excuse me, wrong side of the roster. Foster got the assist, as well as Erickson at 6:24. And then Hillmond came right back and tied it up at 7:04, which is 40 seconds later. And then back out in the lead again.
Cruikshank getting sent to the dressing room, so his night is over. With
5 in a game, potentially 2 in a game.
It looks like it'll be. I think it'll be for the cross check after the after the whistle for sure.
Yep.
But Cruikshank's night is over, and number 24.
Callback, I believe that is.
That is Lance Callback of the Hitmen, who will serve that penalty.
He'll be getting a call back from the league, Will Cruikshank. As I needed a reprieve from reading through 10 goals. So I'm glad that a pause was put to that, and the Daysland team is trying to get the right personnel package out there. And I guess you'd say it's a great time to rest some of your snipers, but Benefield will come right back out.
Right.
He's got a hat trick already. And it's a provincial tournament. You can't forget the factor that goals for are a big factor. It's a part of the tiebreaker. If you're up by 8-2, it's not a disrespect to the other team. You need to score goals to be in the lead.
It is a fact of life in a 4-team round-robin tournament. You absolutely have to score goals, and when you get the opportunity, you've got to get the goals for, because what that means is it puts your team in a better position. You get more rest. You earn your spot and in the playoffs and in the tournament by scoring goals. And certainly Daysland with the opportunities and some great puck movement through this third period. Obviously the Northstars came out and just decided to exact their will once the Hitmen got to within a goal.
Alberta Junior Hockey League, Western Hockey League representative. There's even a guy who drafted by the Columbus Blue Jackets and played 10 games in the NHL, their backup goaltender of the Daysland team, Mr. York, Alan York, 2007 Columbus Blue Jackets draft pick in the 6th round, and we will probably be hearing his name a couple of times this weekend. Spent some time in the East Coast Hockey League as well as the American League, NCAA. So imagine the 2 goals this team has let in as Benefield puts it towards and scores again, as it is now 9-2 with 4-on-4, and they're going to keep putting that pedal down, and they're not going to stop.
I don't know where Benefield was the first 2 periods, whether, all of a sudden Benefield has just come out in this third period. And, our expectation was to see the Soprovic brothers. They led the team in scoring, but if Daysland has another line, or if they have 4 lines that they can roll out, they are going to be obviously a very dangerous team in the tournament. And could certainly set themselves up for a back-to-back title.
Benefield almost looked like he didn't want to score in that play. He lazily put it along the ice off of the far post. He looked like he wasn't even trying. As here it's 9-2 with Daysland on another power play for 120. This is their 5th of the game and yet to capitalize, as that was 4-on-4 hockey. At the point, shot absorbed into the pads, still playing is Peterson, who, no disrespect to his play today, has really
None
kept Hillmond in this.
whatsoever.
But it's the third period, he just run out of gas.
That's right. And Jimmy Peterson, up until the first, within, we're talking about 2 periods plus the first 5 minutes of the third, he's been the best player on the ice for the Hitmen. Really, or was, in this case, but he really hasn't. He's been left alone back there for most of these goals in the third.
1 minute left in the power play for Daysland. 4:17 on the game clock. 39-21 shots on goal in favor of the defending provincial champions, up against the runners-up of the the Sask Alta League, rather. Wainwright, the champions. Hillmond, the runners-up. Hillmond 13-6 this season, up against a mountain of a team to climb. 14-1-0-3 of the NCHL, the Daysland Northstars, defending provincial champs. Didn't get the official goal announcement there, as I missed a lot of assists so far on this broadcast, as I'll hopefully try to catch up with that. As Wark, candidate for, I don't know who you'd pick as a 3 stars of the game. I don't know, they don't do that on the ice. They do 1 player of the game, Kev, but what do you say? What are some guys that you've liked to watch today? I guess Benefield is probably up in that echelon.
I think Benefield has been outstanding. I think number 14, Rhett Dudley, has played a sensational game for Daysland in terms of back checking and in terms of defensive play. In a 9-2 game, that's obviously lost sometimes, but Dudley has been outstanding.
He definitely has, and we would have liked to pick Peterson, but Gardner is probably one that could fall into that category too, as cross-ice pass gets knocked out of harm's way. 9-2 is the score. 3:13 remains. That's the end of the power play, so 0 for 5 it will be, but really that stat really doesn't matter whatsoever, because Daysland applied their way right from the opening face-off. It really did seem that this game was going to be in Daysland's favor right through from beginning to end.
Well, I think we thought that that it was going to be a 7-goal deficit through the first period, but Jimmy Peterson had a lot to say about that, and the tight checking of the Hitmen was outstanding through the first 2 periods.
Stars win the draw again. Foster chases after it as he gets dumped behind. That's Day who gets knocked down. Centering pass, dumped back into the corner again, and obviously not trying to run up the score as their captain Jacobson. Erickson, cross, down low to Jacobson. Puts it behind the net. Peterson out there to help his defense, and that back pressure, those big forwards, definitely too hot to handle for the Hillmond defense, is probably the best way to summarize this game right now. If I had 15 seconds to whip it up together, that defense can't get the breakout going, not able to handle that forecheck, and Jimmy Peterson's had to bail him out so many times.
The Northstars have really taken over in terms of the forecheck, and you can see it in terms of the shots. It's a near doubling in shots now, 41-21 for Daysland. And I think another name that you have to talk about is number 39, Brad Trotman of the Northstars. He's got a pair of goals and has done some amazing work on the penalty kill as well. When the Northstars killed off that 5-on-3, it was Trotman who was skating miles for Daysland through that sequence, and that was a big turning point in this hockey game early in the third period.
Gardner behind the net to Wark, just going to control the play, and big clapper off the crossbar. Saprovich, one of the brothers, that one the Zach variety, Zach and Grayson, the Saprovich brothers here, and boy, did he clap that one. That somehow didn't end up inside the 4x6, but I still think that Peterson was looking for that puck, and Peterson just trying to stay upright right now and keep that energy level high, and be able to just watch this clock tick away. I think more than anything for Hillmond, they're just counting it down, get the game over with. Yeah, we got our butts kicked in game one. Let's regroup. We're playing tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Clearly the mindset, shouldn't it be, Kevin?
You bet. And at the same time, you know what? Get some rest tonight. Get a cold one in you. Then get a little shut-eye and be ready for tomorrow afternoon. And you know what? Even though it is a short tournament, tomorrow is another day, and you start fresh, and you try and apply the same formula that worked for the first two periods. Tight checking and good goaltending will get you far in a tournament like this. But
nice deflection there. Excuse me, Kev.
But when you run into a buzzsaw like this Northstar team, it can be a tough night.
Definitely has been. I did say that the games tomorrow start at 12:30. Excuse me. The winners start at 10. The loser of this game, which is going to be the Hillmond Hitmen, will play against the losers of the Wainwright and Anton game right after this at 1 o'clock. So the winners at 10 as we get another look at the big clapper there by Zach Soprovich, and Kyle queuing that up for us. Thanks again. So 8:30, the loser and winner of the next following games tomorrow night. So 3 games for us to broadcast tomorrow. We have another one coming up at 8:30 along with the opening ceremonies at 8. Very, very shortly. We got enough time to maybe have a pot of chili, I think, or a bowl of chili. Not a whole pot. Dave Foley's mom, did she bring some chili? There's some amazing chili in the media booth there.
Probably not a tough commute over to the Foley house.
That's true. We can probably take a quick spin as Benefield looks for number 5.
Matches jersey number.
That would be true. And he's probably had a couple of 5-goal games in the Capital Junior Hockey League as he led that team in scoring, the Wetaskiwin Icemen, back-to-back years. And scoring is going to be what Daysland will do as the Hitmen are in La La Land right now, getting smacked 9-2 in the opening game of the Senior AA Provincial Championships here from Wainwright, Alberta, as they'll have the player of the game presentations here coming up right away. But I would imagine, Kevin Donnan, we're going to have a player of the game as Benefield on one side. Who would you put as a player of the game for the Hitmen? I know it's tough letting 9 goals in.
It's tough. I mean, Peterson, you can certainly talk about him. I mean, for the first, he kept the Hitmen in this game and kept it to a 1-goal hockey game. So we'll send it back down to the ice surface.
Yeah, Benefield, the star. I might even say Newman on the back end. Lugged some big minutes for the Hitmen, potentially as a player of the game, it's my guess.
Absolutely. So congratulations to Ryan Benefield as the Northstars start the defense of their title with a big victory.
Yeah, Jordan Dugan set up the second goal. All started by him and put it out in front to Crookshank, who ended up getting a game misconduct for a check from behind. But Jordan Dugan, one of the Dugan brothers here, gets the player of the game for the Hillmond Hitmen, who start this tournament, with a loss. So they will play tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and the winners will play tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So, yeah, quite a third period it definitely was, as it did start. And Kevin Donnan, you did say right as the third period began that you love the start of the Hillmond Hitmen and how much pressure they put on. Shortly after that, very prediction savvy that they did score. But it wasn't long after that Daysland really did exact their way.
I think Daysland really settled in. I mean, they're known as an offensive skating team, and once the nerves go away, once you get a couple of periods under your belt, then Daysland you could see get really comfortable. The puck movement, they started moving the puck so well in terms of breaking it out. The forecheck was outstanding, and what you see is what you get. You get a 9-2 hockey game.
Yeah, a lot of goals. Riley Benefield. Benefield, 5 goals in the game, 4 goals, I should say, almost 5. Totally lit it up there, and that's pretty much the story of the game. As we got a lot of games left to call here.
You bet.
And here's some replay of kind of what's going on. I can't even keep track of it.
What we've had tonight.
Pucks flying at the net.
But one thing that we have had, and the one thing that you can say about this level of hockey is that it is outstanding hockey, and it is. You can see there's been some outstanding passing, some really great goals in terms of. In terms of extra effort, in terms of, doing the dirty work to set up the goals. Both squads really, really gave it their all tonight, and it was Daysland truly. They're the defending provincial champions for a reason, and boy, did they prove it.
Yeah, and they definitely showed that with the will that they exacted. 14-1, 0-3 in the season, and the Hillmond Hitmen only 50 goals for, and Daysland 113 goals for in this tournament. So definitely showing that that was definitely their game from the beginning and into the third period. But the game we got to follow, I'm excited about this one. Wainwright and Nanton.
I'm pumped for this one.
There is a little bit of payback, I hear, that's due in this game.
Well, you know, Nanton took down the Rustlers. Rustlers had a shot at the gold medal last year. Nanton took them out in last year's tournament. So the Rustlers are going to have their home crowd here. The Peace Memorial Multiplex is going to be rocking tonight. Stay with us because it's going to be a doozy.
Oh, cannot wait for this one. Wainwright ended up finishing with a bronze medal last year. Nanton lost 6-5 to Daysland here in the gold medal game. What a great way to start this tournament off. What a great broadcast it's been. Thanks so much for joining us. Really excited for the rest of this weekend. 7 games coming at you right up to Sunday night, the gold medal game, the final one. On behalf of Kyle Mansour on the replays and Dave Foley, Rob Sitlow, Kevin Donnan, my great bald broadcast brother, thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks for watching this ICU Video Productions webcast of the 2017 Senior AA Provincial Championships right here from Wainwright, Alberta. We'll catch you again very soon.